I have another image every American needs to see today. This was taken by Finn Gomez and Getty Images. A black man on the DC Metro is surrounded by white nationalists covering their faces in masks, cowards, refusing to show who they actually are to the public as they chant, "Reclaim America." White nationalists today marched on Washington, hundreds of them. And we see images like this coming out of Washington, D.C. today. As Americans celebrate the 250th anniversary of our nation, we are seeing images like this coming out of Washington, D.C. Masked white nationalists surrounding black Americans, simply as they're riding the metro. These images invoke some of the worst parts of America's history. And it's images like these that many refuse to even acknowledge exist. Many on the right today have just completely ignored it. And when they talked about it, they claimed they're federal agents. Make sure every American sees this today. Spread the word and follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. There'll be more to come soon.
Well, those are your judges, your police officers. Those are your governors. Those are your mayors. Those cowards are a malignant root to this country. Listen, the 4th of July in DC was an absolute fiasco, ladies and gentlemen. Those white nationalists, they went off the rails yesterday. And we got to talk about it. Listen, for all you Sambo super soldiers out there who act like white supremacy is a figment of our imagination, if this ain't the proof, then I don't know what will be. Now, I'm from the Washington, D.C. area, raised in that area, and I can tell you that white nationalism, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, they've always marched in D.C. like they always have, whether it's near the monument, the Thomas Jefferson building. They used to go down Haynes Point, and they always have marched, but never on the 4th of July. This 4th of July right here is something that I don't think I've ever witnessed before. And there's a lot of coded messages. There's a dog whistle being blown to white supremacists. They have our people cornered in these trains. And listen, they showed the brother who was cornered. There was also a sister.
This is the latest. Every American has to see this image today because you know what? It is absolutely disgusting. Here you have a bunch of white nationalist patriot members thinking they're all tough, but are they really? Because their faces are covered. And they're on a metro train going to Washington, D.C. to march around and parade and everything else. And here you go. Here's an image. It's absolutely not cool. It's disgusting, actually. So these guys are going to march around on America's 250th anniversary birthday combo. But just think about being this woman on this train alone with all these cowards covering their face and what they stand for and what they represent. She is in a sea full of white nationalists, this cart, and take a look. They're all wearing their little white mask and their little purple shirts, whatever colors they are, and they have their little flags, you know, the Southern flags, whatever them damn things are, Confederate flags, and they are marching upon Washington, D.C. to basically spread the shit they do, the hate. This is the latest. Every American has to see this image today because you know what? It is absolutely disgusting. Here you have a...
And listen, it was 400 of these mass domestic terrorists, because that's what we're going to call them. It was 400 of them. And then also, Trump shows up, and he brung a whole lot of mystery men around him, some YMCA cowboy hat wearing, tobacco chewing hicks. He had them all standing behind him. That's a message right there. Now they're calling this whole protest Reclaim America. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, their birth rates are struggling right now. If you go look at what's going on in Europe, the sun is killing them right now. Literally, the sun is destroying them. God himself is destroying these people. Now, they're suffering right now, and they're afraid because judgment is showing up at their doorstep. Also, all of their daughters are carrying the seed. A lot of their daughters are carrying the seed of melanated people. It's becoming normal. They are, listen, let me tell you, when I say they are petrified at what's going on, they are ready to engage. They are ready to engage melanated people. It's just the truth. They know that Jesus Christ is black, so they had to create their own version of Christianity, which is called Christian nationalism. They're rewriting history, ladies and gentlemen. You even had these devils performing baptisms at Trump's, at what is it called? The Patriot Front over there in Capitol Hill. These people are really tweaking. Let me see, is this the video here? Oh no, that's the Reclaim America video. Like, they were out here giving baptisms, y'all. But we're going to come across that video just to show you that these people are really believing that they have right to reclaim the land. And notice they saying reclaim. The whole protest is about reclaiming the land. Now, they had to claim it to begin with, to reclaim it. Now, how did they claim it? They came over here and they wiped out the indigenous people, wiped them out. And now they're saying, listen, we're losing our grip. We got to reclaim. Peep this, y'all.
You know, this really encapsulates Donald Trump's America, because what could have been a celebration of this nation's 250th year, we instead have white nationalists and neo-Nazis marching the streets of our nation's capital. These are cowards and traitors. Look at the flags they're flying: an upside down American flag, a pre-Civil War American flag, the Confederate flag. Like, really think about the disrespect and the disdain that these people have for what our country is at the moment. Think about the disrespect flying an upside down American flag has for our vets, the people that laid down their lives for our country. Constantly, time and time again, Democrats are expected to call out all the most fringe and the most insane people on the left. But instead, we see on the right, not a single person, not a single Republican will call this out as disgusting. They will not call this out as un-American. How can you expect people to feel patriotic for this country when it's filled with people like this who keep telling them that they're not welcome? It is completely antithetical to the identity of American and the principles that it was founded on.
Hey, the race war is coming. As simple as that. And I don't want a race war. I have Caucasian people that I respect. However, Trump obviously wants a race war. MAGA obviously wants a race war. We're supposed to be celebrating America's 250th year. And what do? They get up there and they cause more racial divide. While Trump celebrates, the country is going into disarray and confusion. Agitators is who they are. And it's rumored that a lot of these masked domestic terrorists are actually feds. And I believe that to be true. And, you know, the white supremacists, you know, they are highly upset right now. You know, they recently just arrested, yesterday, actually, Major Jason Watson, after he participated in a protest against Donald Trump. You know, he said, look, we need to go ahead and impeach and arrest him and JD Vance. So you got social media being flooded with images of President Trump speaking about, you're speaking with these men dressed in Western attire. And people are talking about that because these are the real cowboys, right? Yeah, this is the Epstein class. This is America now. This is America. And, you know, shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there in Washington, D.C. Y'all try y'all best to stay out the way. Meanwhile, the veterans in Philly, which is the original nation's cap, in case you didn't know, the veterans out in Philly, they're actually out there protesting for veterans. So, you know, that should have been covered. But of course, with Trump pull overshadowed a lot of things.
While white nationalists marched on America's 250th in Washington, D.C., hundreds of veterans marched for America's 250th in Philadelphia with a clear message that this country today, on America's 250th, is not the country that they served for. Their message today was clear. Stop sending our military service members in uniform into war. Quote, healthcare is not warfare, military off our streets. They took to the streets in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000 people came out to protest what we're seeing in the United States of America today. Many of these are veterans, service members who put their lives on the line for our rights and our freedoms on America's 250th. Spread the word, follow for more. While white nationalists marched on America's 250th.
See, the country is divided, y'all. The veterans are not even getting the respect they deserve.
One thing about these people is they do not lose recipes and they do not lose the spirit of cowardice that their ancestors have always had. And my thing with this is like, if you're so proud to be white, you know what I'm saying, you love America so much, why are you not showing your face? Why are you hiding your face while you're doing these kind of things? It's because they're cowards and they don't want any kind of pushback in public, because if somebody recognizes them, you know what I'm saying, they're going to get chastised. They're going to be social outcasts, rightfully so. They're a bunch of hoe-ass niggas just like their ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Racism doesn't really change. It just evolved to adapt to the times. And they're constantly talking about taking back the country, and it just doesn't make any sense because they act like they lost it. Obviously, it's because of like Barack Obama and like more black politicians getting into power. You know what I'm saying? But overall, they still run the country. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. These goofy ass white folks do not need to be talking about taking the country back. The people that do need to take the country back is native indigenous folks that had their land taken from them. Not these goofy ass honkies. You know what I'm saying? And like, they constantly have like this victimhood mentality and feeling like the world is against them whenever they're inflicting violence on any and everybody, even themselves. One thing about these people.
Yeah, and you know, you will have people out there that act like racism in America is exaggerated, you know, when in fact it's embedded in every institution. But regardless of where you stand, one thing is undeniable. America has a long history that stems from race, slavery, segregation, Jim Crow, redlining, the civil rights struggles, you know, and now we got this modern racial tension that they seem to be escalating. They want a whole purge in America. Like I'm telling you right now, they want a purge in America. And this is why the Bible says at the end days, it will be nation versus nation. You know, when they start showing up like this, they're speaking in code. But it's really not in code because it's bold. But they're showing you with those images of them surrounding our people, they're showing you they're ready for engagement. And this is why we've been having all these issues about self-defense. They're trying to light a torch. We're having all these issues about self-defense for a reason. Now look at Trump with all the good old boys.
Shields and flags with them. They are members of a group called the Patriot Front.
Trump's trash ass did a speech yesterday with white supremacist soldiers in the background because Trump is a white supremacist. This piece of shit in this circle right here, that's Thomas Ryan Rizzo. He's the leader of the white supremacist group called Patriot Front. Do y'all see anything similar with this leader of this white supremacy group and the white men standing behind Trump? They look exactly the same because they are the same. Those white men standing behind Trump are supposed to be a reenactment of white supremacist soldiers from 1898 called the Rough Riders. The white supremacist group Patriot Front are trying to be the new 2026 Rough Riders. White supremacist ex-president Theodore Roosevelt, who was a Republican by the way, put this white supremacist soldier group together. Theodore Roosevelt's racist ass called the black race the backwards race and the white race the forward race, because Theodore Roosevelt was a white supremacist. Roosevelt wanted the white race to be the most superior, just like Trump and his administration. Theodore Roosevelt excluded black soldiers from being in the Rough Riders, even though later Roosevelt's white supremacist ass would end up begging the Buffalo Soldiers, who were all black soldiers, to save the Rough Riders in the American-Spanish War.
So y'all already seen the video. I don't know why y'all thought that Trump was actually gonna be for y'all. This nigga is walking with Confederate soldiers. Like, the racism in this country is beyond me. But that's why we need to bring in the Black Panthers and other black groups back, because we need to show these motherfuckers, like, this is not your country. This is not your country. Leave us black people and colored people alone. Y'all about to see what it's about to do.
Shields and
You know, there's been a major shift in this country. There's been a real change that's taken place. If you noticed, when everything was going on with anti-immigration, ICE, and middle America was outraged about what was happening with this tyranny that's taking place. If you notice, a lot of black folks, we just kind of minded our business. You know, we're used to being able to just navigate, keep our heads low, pay our bills, do what it is we do. We weren't even worried about it because look, we already been under close observation and scrutiny since our inception of America, right? Since these people landed on Plymouth Rock, we've already have been scrutinized. So it's like we learned to navigate under the radar. But it seemed like now everything is regarding us. It's like because we didn't buy into the system, because we did not participate in their shit show, it's like now they got to engage us. Why? Because we are the original man, the original woman. These narcissistic devils need our energy. If you notice, you know, we got these Peckerwood, Hills Have Eyes weirdos in our chat right now because they just can't help. They can't help but to hear what we talking about because we the salt of the earth. And these devils, because that's what they are, these Christian nationalist devils, they're going to go to hell soon. You understand? And I'm going to proclaim the truth. Bold as ever. They're getting judged already. The sun is destroying them. It's earthquakes all over the earth right now. Why? Because they won't leave the righteous alone. The Most High don't play about his people. They believe that they got us in a corner, and that's what those pictures are supposed to display, that we're cornered. It's supposed to trigger fear in us, but we're not afraid. We already know there's going to be divine intervention. We know there's going to be divine intervention. We're not even worried about it. We know that these reptilian shapeshifters are going to burn in hell. And we know that because they're not even holding these PDF files accountable. These people out here violating children left and right. And they ain't got nothing to say about that. Yeah. Yeah, they real upset. Because the devil's being exposed.
Important message for Washington, D.C. today. Them white Christian nationalists is outside. They masked up. They all dressed in unison in the same uniform, and they not looking for peace. They out here to cause havoc. They are out here to interrupt our peace. And I just want to say, I was going to say a few days ago, I don't want people from here outside downtown at all this weekend. This 4th of July, it don't feel right. This whole America's 250, it don't feel right. It don't feel normal. And we've never been one to really support and celebrate the 4th of July. But if you do want to celebrate with your friends and your family and have a good time on this good holiday weekend, stay across the river. You know what I'm saying? Stay in PG County, stay in Southeast. You know what I'm saying? We usually used to go up the top of the hill and on the south side or Temple Hills and just watch the fireworks from there anyway, or go down to the National Harbor. But do not go down there. But if you do have to go down there, black people, like if you work down there, you have to be down there. If you live down there, you have to be down there, because these are our communities. I need you to stand with each other. If you see them peoples, make sure that you know what all of the black people around you are, so that y'all can stick together for whatever's coming to you. You cannot carry in Washington, D.C. So if these people are carrying, then they need to be locked up. They need to be arrested. What is the National Guard out here for? Why is it a whole task force to keep the city safe and beautiful, but you have these masked assailants, these thugs out here walking around in our streets, and they not doing nothing about it? Let me tell y'all, if you see black people out there, I need y'all to know where each other at all times. I need y'all to stay vigilant. I need y'all to stay arm in arm, connected together, because I'm not feeling anything that's going on today. These are pardoned January 6ers. These are judges. These are doctors. These are lawyers. These are police officers. These are military members. That's why they wearing the mask. This the new Klan. We know what the fuck is going on. Spread the word. We know what to do. We know what to do.
That's right. Stay on code. Stay out the way. Keep your head on a swivel, because really they just trying to trigger us. That's what it really is about. They want to threaten, impose their will on us. Like we're supposed to be frightened. They're giving us images of them surrounding us like we're supposed to be afraid. No, listen, we are willing to deal with an actual threat with extreme prejudice. Let's be very clear about that. We rather be carried by, listen, we rather be carried by 6 than judged by 12. Straight up. Straight up. We are not afraid to defend ourselves when need be. But we're not going for the gaslighting techniques. Yeah, we see what y'all up to. We see what the white supremacists are up to. We're not worried about that. Y'all need to get y'all's birth rates under control. Y'all need to get all these PDF files off the streets. Y'all need to worry about y'all daughters shimmying down the damn side of the house going in the barn. Yeah, you need to worry about your daughters shimmying their ass to the projects and getting the seed of melanated people. That's what you need to worry about. You need to worry about your sons coming to you saying, surely our fathers have inherited lies. That's what y'all need to worry about, because we cooling. We cool. We cool on our side. We chilling. Yeah. Y'all need to worry about that. Y'all need to worry about all these diseases that's tearing y'all asses apart. Y'all need to be worried about creating some new sunscreen that's going to stop the damn sun from eliminating you. That's what you need to worry about. Because we chilling. Now, of course, all of my, real Caucasian brothers and sisters, we rock with y'all. We rock with y'all the long way. Y'all part of the fam. Y'all invited to the cookout. But these damn white supremacists, they got to get their stuff under control, bro. We not, listen, let me put it out here. We not tripping over y'all. Yeah. We not tripping over y'all at all. That's right.
Breaking news. In North Carolina, a man named William Milliken III, 44 years old, rose up to a church on June 28th in High Point during Sunday services. Full body armor, camouflage, 2 flamethrowers, 2 crossbows, over 500 rounds of ammo, knives, duct tapes, police scanners, even a notebook with addresses of churches and schools. He's sitting there in his truck. He's claiming he's law enforcement to people who's asking, enforcing a smoking violation. An off-duty cop and a quick-thinking churchgoer confront him. They disarm him without a shot fired. Could have been a massacre. Yet, where's the wall-to-wall mainstream coverage? Barely a peep nationally. They're already whispering mental health issues. Right?
See, y'all need to be worried about this damn RoboCop without the mask looking degenerate right here that's running up in y'all's churches. Y'all need to be worried about this Buzz Lightyear without the mask right here. Y'all need to be worried about these psychopaths that's running up in schools doing mass pow-pows. Look at what y'all are breeding. That's what y'all need to be worried about. Hold on, man. Inspired Me Lori, yo, she in here cracking up. Shout out to Inspired Me Lori. She having it up in here. And you know why she having it up in here like that? Because y'all's women are afraid of y'all. They come over to these platforms and they feel safe. Because nobody is more dangerous in America than their own men. They know that. We talk to them all the time. They are petrified of y'all. Y'all sit there and brainwash yourselves with Jason and Michael Myers, and y'all be romanticizing over serial killers. No, look, y'all came over here for this. When y'all decided to show up, you signed up for this. No, y'all need to worry about y'all's people. Yeah. Look, they was being real intentional with this stuff. I'm telling you.
Americans are going to war against Flock AI surveillance cameras.
No, that's the wrong video. They was being real intentional with this.
I know daggone well they ain't got no Confederate flag in that parade. Whose flags are these? They got shields. They got the masks on. I know daggone well they ain't got no Confederate flag.
Y'all so bold, but y'all out there with masks on. Why wearing the mask? You know, it was hot as hell yesterday, especially in DC, and y'all masked up. Sweating like pigs out there. Crazy.
In the past 24 hours on 4th of July, there were 8 mass shootings in the United States of America. Dozens of people have been injured. Multiple people have been killed. You may not hear about all of these on the news because it's been so normalized, but I want to run through them with you because we can't normalize it. In Dayton, Ohio, 4 people were injured. In Centerville, Mississippi, 2 people were killed. 7 people were injured. In Brooklyn, New York, 8 people were injured, including 4 children. On Hilton Head, South Carolina, 7 people were injured. In San Antonio, Texas, 1 person was killed, 4 people were injured. In Radcliffe, Kentucky, 1 person was killed, 3 people were injured. In Pensacola, Florida, 1 person was killed, 5 people were injured. And in Chicago, Illinois, 7 people were injured. In total, in the past 24 hours due to gun violence and mass shooting events, 11 people were killed, 45 people were injured. That doesn't include everyday gun violence between 2 people, for example. This is just mass shooting and it's from the Gun Violence Archive. Spread the word to not normalize this. I'll have more updates for you soon. Follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Guess who did most of these mass pow-pows? Just guess who did it. Guess. The usual suspects. The usual suspects. Oh, y'all thought it was going to be melanated folks who did all these mass pow-pow. No. It was these purge folks. Yeah. They out here. Listen, you know what our people was doing? Chilling. Cooking food on a grill. I don't celebrate 4th of July, but, you know, our people, that's what they do. They be chilling. Spending time with their families. No, y'all wait till the 4th of July and y'all take it Purge Independence Day. Y'all literally go purge Independence Day. There's an animal living inside y'all. Do you realize that middle America, like, do you understand that they have became demented and they can't wait to purge? Listen, let me tell y'all something. Obadiah 1:18 says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble. That's what you're going to be, a stubble. Why? Because you're going to consume yourself. Esau's house is depicted as being consumed biblically. Edom and the tabernacles of Edom are going to go through a downfall because you're so demented and psychopathic. You're going to destroy yourself just like you destroyed the ozone layer, just like you destroyed, everything. I mean, damn, the animals, the food, everything you touch is destroyed. It's in your DNA. It just is what it is. Now, you can be converted. You can come to the true knowledge of Christ, not this Christian nationalist nonsense. Obadiah 1:10 says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame come over thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. See, because of your violence against us, because of your betrayal against your brother nation, because of your pride, because of your violence, because of your destruction, you will forever be cut off. And I'm going to tell you like this. Here's a little news flash. Either you're going to get down or you're going to lay down when Christ returns. That's just what it's going to be. That's why I don't be sitting here arguing with y'all. That's why we not quick to be triggered, because y'all like to call names and all that. We don't get triggered off of that. Watermelon felon don't bother me none. Watermelon is delicious. It don't bother me none, because I know when Christ returns, y'all gonna get down or y'all gonna lay down. Either you're gonna be destroyed or you're gonna serve us. Either you're gonna be destroyed or you're gonna serve us. That's what the Bible tells us. So I can be patient. I can wait this out. I don't care what you say about Carmelo Anthony, because you know what? Austin Metcalf, he's done. He won't be running track no more. You can say whatever you want to say about Carmelo, but guess what? He's alive. I could drop the mic right there. He alive. Austin Metcalf dad is still going to be a drunk, slothful, suspected white supremacist. And it is what it is. They stepped up in Carmelo's face. They tried it. Hey, it is what it is. What are we talking about? And you know what the irony of it is? Y'all had my sympathy because I'm a fair person. Y'all had my sympathy all the way until Austin McCabe dad went on that racist rant. Because what I've learned from you white supremacists or suspected white supremacists is they like to fuel more chaos when the nation is at a racial tension. Erica Kirk did it. Austin McCabe's daddy did it. And Trump just did it yesterday. When the nation is going through the most racial tension, guess who the ones who are going to add fire to the flame? These people are insane, but they want to make it seem like Black America is the problem. No. The crime rate is down in our community. Stop it. Y'all are beginning to consume yourselves.
Shields and flags with them.
And it's sickening.
This is video of a white supremacist group seen marching around Washington, D.C. today on America's 250th anniversary. They have been seen at Union Station, in some Capitol Hill neighborhoods. This video was shot on Pennsylvania Avenue, and you can see them walking around wearing masks, chanting for the country to be reclaimed, some even carrying Confederate flags. Again, all of this happening on the morning of July 4th. Someone also shared this video with us of the group boarding the metro earlier today. MPD says it is aware of the group and is monitoring their demonstrations. This is video of a white supremacist group seen marching.
Yeah, they're aware of the group. You know, they're the ones who planted them. Obadiah 1:3 says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. Esau's, you Edomites, your pride is the beginning of your downfall. What did the scriptures say? The Most High says that Esau exalts himself like the eagle. He will be brought down. That's what it says. He exalts himself like the eagle. He will be brought down. There's your American pride. There's your Reclaim America protest. Scriptures say y'all gonna be brought down. Now, it gotta bother you that you're trying to frame a religion called Christian nationalism when the Bible speaks directly against you devils. It gotta hurt you some type of way. When Malachi 1:3 says, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste. He hated you. God himself says he hated Esau in your mountains. When you was up in the Caucasus, he made them waste. He made you a vagabond to the point you had to roam every country and take over and murder and kill and destroy. Because you didn't have a home. You did not have a home. Look, the scriptures tell us, Jeremiah 49:16, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine own heart. Listen, the Bible says that y'all are so damn terrible, it's deceived you. Y'all are so terrible, it deceived you to make you really believe you powerful. You ain't powerful. You got to march with mask on. That's weak. You're weak. Out here marching with mask on because you don't want to be seen. If you really that bold, go out there, march with no mask. Yeah, grow a pair. If you so bold in who you are, why you got to hide? Because you're afraid you're going to get doxxed. You're afraid that, you're going to get exposed and somebody going to go upside your damn head. That's what you're afraid of because you're scary. You're afraid. That's what cowards do. Yeah.
Impeach, convict, remove. Major Watson, a U.S. Air Force major, retired, commissioned officer, knew that by standing on the Capitol and demanding that the Tangerine Twatwaffle in this Oval Circus is impeached, convicted, and removed would cause him harm and face jail time and treason charges because standing up against the president for a military officer is the worst possible thing that you can do because that is your commander in chief and you're supposed to follow orders regardless of anything. But the orders being given are breaking our Constitution. They are a conflict to even our local laws. And Major Watson should be respected, honored. There's a phone number that you need to call to make sure that the oversight of this man is given the honor and respect that he deserves because he put his life, his pension, and everything on the line for you, for me, for all of us, because he calls out exactly what we're all seeing: impeachment, removal, treason. This man has done everything he can to put his own life on the line so that we can find justice for the people that died in a war that the sleeping pedo in the Oval Circus never served this country, never wanted to serve this country, and has been trying to make this country serve him. And it's time now to stand up. Here's the phone number again. Make sure you call the switchboard and flood it and make sure that you stand up and make sure that everybody knows that your voice matters. Share this with more people. Impeach.
Yeah, y'all arresting y'all own veterans because he just told the truth. He did an act of protest. But see, there's all kind of loopholes in their constitution. Like, you really don't have the right to protest anymore. You really don't. That First Amendment is done. If you go against the white supremacy power structure, they don't care if you wanted your own. If you're one of them, they will destroy you. There was another Army veteran a Marine. I can't remember his name right now. Y'all remember last couple months ago, they broke his arm for protesting. Publicly broke his arm in front of his family. It goes to show you they have the get down or lay down mentality. This is what they on. They on code. You know? And Isaiah 34:5 says, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it will come down upon Idumea. Idumea is another name that's associated with Edom. It describes divine justice on Edom, divine judgment on Edom. Y'all are going to be destroyed. Like when I seen what y'all did on the 4th of July, all I seen was desperation, because y'all know judgment is coming. And anybody who feels some type of way about it in the chat, you've aligned yourself with white supremacy. You've aligned yourself with it, and it's bothering you hearing what the Bible actually says. And somebody in the chat asks, are you feeding it? Like, are you? No, what I'm doing is I'm calling it out. I'm being bold as ever. The same way Christ called the synagogue of Satan to their face. When he said, you are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you shall do. I'm saying the same thing to these devils. They are of their father, the devil, and they will be destroyed. Edom's going to get destroyed. And this is what your pastor's supposed to be talking about. This is what the preacher's supposed to be talking about. But they don't want to go there. Why? They think that white supremacy is somehow going to, I don't know, bring them their giblets and giblets. Toss them a few pennies. No, we're not going down like that. We're not doing that.
What did this man just say?
Call of Duty. Now, as I see my two beautiful sons sitting there, I think I'm going to give one to myself, one to them, and we'll have a threesome, okay? I'll pick out one of the two.
Y'all are never beating the allegations of incest.
I'm telling you, man, they are nasty. This is what Trump was out here. He was wilding. Yo, Trump was wilding yesterday. This is the nasty stuff that he says publicly.
I swear to God, y'all marry y'all second and third cousins. Y'all are not beating the allegations. Y'all family trees are a fucking reef, because this shit is not even a joke. My daddy would never joke like that with my brother. That is nasty, okay? Something y'all... This is y'all president. I didn't vote for him.
Weirdos and a bunch of weirdos and freaks. He's talking about having threesomes with his sons. Hey, listen. What's in the abundance of your heart gonna come out of your mouth? Like, listen. This is MAGA. I don't know what to tell you. This is MAGA. They some disgusting individuals.
What did this man just say?
Call of Duty. Now, as I see my two beautiful sons sitting there, I think I'm going to give one to myself, one to them, and we'll have a threesome, okay? I'll pick out one of the two.
Y'all are never...
That's disgusting, bro. Hell no.
Now, I'm not normally a divisive person, but these boys that are doing this on the 4th of July belong to a certain group that claim to be proud. They claim themselves to be proud, but they're not proud enough to show their faces or tell us their names. These proud, penisless, and repugnant assholes claim to be the strong arm of their president's party and are absolutely, completely, and infinitely impotent at everything except being servants to money and the Epstein class. Now, for nearly a century, the party that those men serve, has pursued a relentless agenda of obstruction, exploitation, and division, while systematically dismantling social protections, fueling inequality, and undermining democracy for the benefit of the wealthy and the powerful. I'm just pointing out the obvious, because all you have to do is look around or pick up a fucking history book and you will see that their history is nothing more than calculated cruelty as they keep weaponizing racism and cultural welfare, gutting labor and civil rights, and unleashing environmental devastation, all while cloaking their actions in hollow patriotism that is in reality nothing but nationalism. Because if it were true patriotism, then they would have absolutely no problem with people seeing issues in this country, problems going on with this country, pointing them out and wanting to fix those problems. They would have absolutely no problem with that instead of saying, if you don't like it, then get out. Now, them doing this on the 4th of July is them sending a message and maintaining their sustained, deliberate assault on the nation's well-being and future. With that said, the scale and persistent harm of these little boys demand not just criticism, but unapologetic accountability and a fundamental rejection of their corrosive legacy, and require a response, which is the reason why I am posting this video, as of right now you have about 1 hour to meet at 2 p.m. at McPherson Square. I'm sorry that I'm just now having seen this video, and I'm sorry that I can't be there. And I am not sure who is organizing this response, but I know that this absolutely needs a response. And it needs that response now, because every action does require an equal or opposite reaction. Now, while I am a man of action, again, I can't be there, but now is a time where we can't allow ourselves to be afraid to react. Because evil triumphs when good men do nothing. So please, if you can be there at 2 p.m. at McPherson Square, then I'm asking you to be there and respond. I'm asking you to not be men that do nothing. Do something. Do something.
Yep, and you know, he's right. Evil conquers when good men do nothing. And it's amazing that these white supremacists call themselves Proud Boys, because the Bible says pride come before the fall. Pride come before the fall. And all through the scriptures, it proclaims that Edom will fall because of their pride. Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. Edom is remembered for rejoicing over Jerusalem, our people. All through the scriptures, it's highlighted that they're going to be judged. Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Y'all are the comparison to fornication and profane. As Esau, y'all compared to it. Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. That's why Trump can sit up there and talk about having threesomes with his son. That's why Trump can sit up there with his daughter all on his lap. That's why Trump can say that he think his daughter is sexy, and that he would, if back in the day, he would have dated her. That's why he can say stuff like that, because they're profane. This is the stock they come from. Anybody who's sitting there, listen, man, anybody who's sitting there vouching for MAGA at this point, man, you're sick. You're sick.
Baby, MAGA is calling Wigs R Us the Antichrist. Y'all finally got to the point where y'all see what we've been seeing for the past 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years. Now y'all see this man as the Antichrist. And it's MAGA's fault. It is y'all fault this man thinks he's God. Y'all literally said that he was the chosen one. Y'all literally said God chose him. God didn't choose him, sweetheart. Y'all did. And now MAGA is turning against him, saying this goes way beyond anything he's ever done before. So unaliving children, that wasn't too far. Erasing Black history, that wasn't too far. Being friends with a KKK member, that wasn't too far. I don't know, being a edophiler. Essaying a woman, that wasn't too far. Using children as bait to get their parents, that wasn't too far. Invading other countries and taking them over for no other reason but their minerals and their oil, that wasn't too far. Erasing other cultures out of this country so white people stand on top. Oh, my bad, I forgot y'all white. That wasn't too far. Eliminating education, health care. Putting us in debt. The fucking country's insolvent. Wants $1.5 trillion to keep fighting this war, which is going to deplete everything that Americans need to survive. Food and gas prices are out of fucking control. That wasn't too far. Moving protesters so he could take a picture in front of a burned down church holding the Bible upside down. That wasn't too far. But him going after the Pope and depicting himself as God, y'all let it get that far. MAGA, y'all voted for this man 3 fucking times. Y'all made this man feel like he was God. All to protect your whiteness. Racism cost. And it doesn't just cost you. It costs the whole fucking world.
Yep.
Baby, MAGA is calling Wigs R Us the Antichrist. Y'all finally got to the point where y'all see what we've been seeing for the past 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I mean, look, this is what destructive people do, you know? White supremacy is going to cause the destruction of the world. Let's be very clear about this. White supremacy is not a figment of our imagination. It's always existed. And, you know, they tried to hide it, but now they got to come out because the devil tired of hiding. Devil tired of hiding. Peep this, y'all.
The former Charleston, South Carolina judge who said that Dylann Roof's family were victims and also used the N-word in court has pled guilty to CP charges. James Gosnell Jr. pled guilty to 1 count of possession of CP involving a prepubescent minor and also 1 count of distribution of CP. But don't worry, guys. He wants everybody to know that he didn't touch any kids and he didn't have any intention to. And honestly, if you believe that, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're gullible as shit. I don't believe that for 1 second, bro. You mean to tell me a judge with money and power and had CP and was distributing CP, wasn't touching? Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here. And honestly, at this point, we got to talk about the fact that, like, this kind of behavior is just accepted in this culture. You know what I'm saying? Like the sexual violence against women and children, and honestly, other men as well, is just accepted. And whenever they get called out about it, they try to play the victim. Like, this motherfucker was talking about, oh, my phone was hacked. My shit was hacked. And that's not mine. And he also had, I think it was like 4 or 6 additional charges.
Why do y'all judges, y'all federal judges and all of these people who highly revered in society, why do they keep getting caught up with children? Huh? Why they keep getting caught up with children? Why are y'all the highest SA offenders in the world? The highest convicted? If Black Americans are the problem, right, in this country, why are we the most charged but the less convicted of any crimes? Explain that. Why is it that we're 50% more likely to be charged for a crime which we're exonerated? You know what that means? That we're over-policed. That means that we're actually not the criminals. That means your per capita argument dies. We're not the problem in America. It's your own culture that you created. And everybody's going to have to suffer for it. Your children are going to suffer for the death culture that you've created.
Incel convention. Got it.
National Incel convention happened yesterday. Bunch of incels in masks.
Wrong. Our people's interest. What that fucking loser, that's the leader of the Patriot Front, by the way, what that loser means by our fucking interest, he means himself and the 400 other white middle-aged men that were there with him today. That's who they mean.
Let me see. This person says, go back to Africa. I've never been to Africa. Well, I have been to Africa, but you can go to Africa. Why am I gonna go to Africa when this is my country? I built America. My people, my ancestors built America. Won't you go back to, oh, where could you go back to? Oh, I forgot. You're a nomad. You have nowhere to go back to. Damn. I could say go back to the Caucasus Mountains. I could say that, you know? Anyway, let's go.
That's whose interests they care about. They don't care about anybody else's. Also, it says a lot about your cause if you can't even reveal all of your identities. This motherfucker and like one other person are the only ones without masks. If anything, that tells me just how scared they are. It's so funny how these alpha, they like to call themselves males, are so fucking scared of everything else in this world. Everything that they don't understand. Not a mask in sight. It's almost like all of these people aren't scared to stand up for what they believe in. I wonder why. It's 2026 and we're seeing pictures like this. The only answer if these motherfuckers show up into your city is for everybody to leave their homes and chase them the fuck out. These people deserve no space. They deserve no voice. They deserve nothing. Incel convention.
I'm gonna have to agree. Now, what happened if everybody would have just came outside and started mollywhopping and jolly stomping at 400 people? I mean, I feel like it would have been justified. Now, you know, they got the right to protest, so I'm not going to incite no violence. But, you know, look, when you sit there and got people cornered on a train and all of that, you don't know how people are going to respond and react to that. It's been too much that's went on in this country for you to be out here with masks on trying to intimidate people. And I'm going to tell you, they did a lot of it for the photo ops.
All morning, I've been seeing the videos of the white supremacist group walking the streets here in D.C. The group is called Patriot Front. And they're a white nationalist group, and I've seen so many people saying, oh my God, is everybody safe? I've seen people tell folks not to go outside because they're here. And I also saw someone put on threads that if it were black people, that they would have called in the National Guard. Well, here's a few fast facts for folks who have not been paying attention to what has been going on in DC. Number one, and let me just say, the only reason why anybody shouldn't be outside is because of this heat, because of the pain and the reverberation of the sound of these fighter jets flying overhead every 20 to 30 minutes. Or because outside costs too much. Because the reality is, we here in Washington, D.C. have been under a federal occupation for nearly a year. As of last week, we have 4,800 armed National Guardsmen on our street. We have every federal agency, from the FBI to U.S. Marshal to Border Patrol, although we have no border, to DEA agent, in addition to the 40 different specific police agencies that are in D.C. Like, for example, we have a Metropolitan Police Department. We also have a police department for the Metro. We have library police. We got park police. But now everybody saw this cluster of cowards walking with their wives' bloomers on their faces in broad daylight, and everybody's supposed to be alarmed. When we were telling people months ago about a U.S. Marshal killing a black father by the name of Julian Bailey, when a Homeland Security agent shot up a black man's vehicle by the name of Philip Brown, and they lied about it in the police report until the video cam footage was released. No one made a hoopla. No one told people not to go outside. No one was so concerned about the District of Columbia. So now that you have all of that information, understand why the people in D.C. are not alarmed by seeing these white supremacists on the street, because we see them every day, mask on or badge on. All morning, I've been seeing the videos of the white supremacist group walking the streets here in D.C. The group is called Patriot Front.
Now, you know, I'm a D.C. native, and I'm going to say this right now. The city has changed immensely. And they trying to take the spirit out of DC. DC was known as Chocolate City when I was growing up, for the record. And the best advice I can really give to the natives of DC is stay out the way. Let me explain this to y'all. What Trump is doing is the best possible thing that could have happened. Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted. We wanted their racism to be outright. Because look, we don't care for Democrats or Republicans. Let's just be quite frank. The whole system is a cesspool. It all needs to be destroyed, right? That's our belief system. We don't care for neither side. But what we did need was for white supremacy to show itself, because that is going to speed up judgment. We needed this. We were tired of the Democrats filibustering and trying to peacock, trying to do undermined racist gestures and try to, we were tired of it. No, we like this. We like the fact that y'all outright with it, because we know Hillary Clinton would try to, I got hot sauce in my purse and all this other nonsense. Try to cater to black votes and all. We already know what y'all do on the low. Y'all eat babies, man. Y'all eat babies. Y'all can't be, we don't trust none of you devils. All of y'all are the Epstein class in our eyes. And I speak for my people. Now, what we have here is actually a breath of fresh air, because now, based on the silence of the Democratic Party when a lot of this stuff is going on, we know that y'all are with it too. We know y'all with it too. I mean, except for the few ones who, are just trying to position themselves politically. But as a whole, everything Trump is doing, y'all in on it. Like, at the end of the day, y'all don't need Congress to do nothing. Go to y'all all. We've found out that y'all all on one accord. That's right. The mask is slipping, and we like that, because we can see what our enemies are on, and we accept it. We accept it. That's right.
I told y'all, man, it ain't hard to see they want a race war real bad. I just heard about a story in Lee County. You got the Rick Child situation. You got the Carmelo Anthony guy getting a guilty verdict, right? All of this is happening at a very interesting time, right? I just find that funny. Like, they want to push this race war so bad. Look, they couldn't get our energy with politics. They couldn't get our energy with the ICE situation. They couldn't get our energy with the fights and battles over in Middle East. We focusing on what is affecting black Americans directly in the world. What's affecting our income, our communities, like directly. It's cutting out the middleman. You know what I'm saying? So now that they don't get our energy, now it's all black people, their fault. Oh, it's their fault. Do you see what they're doing? They're doing takeovers. They're doing it like stuff that's been happening in America. All of a sudden, family gatherings. This man took an AR-15. First, he drove by and seen them outside having a time. Mind you, this house probably quiet every day. There's probably no noise, nothing. But how dare they have a family gathering and the taxes and everything so high? How dare they enjoy themselves? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, bruh came yelling racial slurs out the window, hanging out the window, chimping out. Isn't that chipping out? But when the white man chimp out, or when Rick Child chimps out, it doesn't think rationally, oh, it's justified because he stole 40 cents worth of water, or it's justified because they're playing music and family gathering. Even if it's too loud, why didn't you call the police? Like white people do. You came with it. So he came back with an AR-15 and shot while his kids outside. Yeah. Because he's miserable as fuck. These racists be miserable. And a lot of white Americans, a lot of people are real. All the other races are starting to realize they've been fucking played. They don't have no power. All that white supremacy shit fake. It's all cap. You got lied to by secret society controlling your bitch ass and taking y'all kids. Facts, nigga. Yeah. Now you mad that your government is a piece of shit and everything that you've been told is a lie, an American dream, and you own nothing. You never owned nothing. Niggas be like, oh, you're gonna own nothing to be happy. You don't own shit now. You don't own shit. So here's the thing, right? This man drove by with an AR-15 and shot into the house. I mean, shot all the family outside, the kids, the family, everybody. Luckily, it was a black man there. Start bumping back, nigga. Whoa! I was so happy I heard. I told y'all, man, it ain't hard to see that.
Yeah, if that black man wasn't bumping back out there, and that happened in Georgia, by the way, and the white supremacists got charged with aggravated assault. They let him out. He spent like $500. They let him out. But if that black man wasn't defending himself, it would have been a bunch of unalived. It would have been a bunch of unalived elderly women, and children if it wasn't for that brother defending himself or defending the family to show you the importance of self-defense. Yeah, these people want a race war, but you know, our people are chilling. Like we letting them self-implode. And it's really an energy harvest. They really want our energy so badly. You know, of course, we're focused on building. We're focused on ourselves. And that's bothering the white supremacists because they're miserable. Look, misery loves company. Misery truly loves company. And they're just showing how insecure they really are.
When I left the Republican Party back in 2017, I started noticing things about myself that I didn't notice before. Time to get uncomfortable because we're going to talk about racism. Not the kinds with white hoods and racial slurs. I'm talking about the kind that hides in plain sight through our assumptions and stereotypes. The kind that gets passed down without us even realizing it. I know because I was once blind to it. I used to say things like, I don't see color, because I thought that was a respectful thing to say. When Ferguson happened, I heard Black Lives Matter, and I thought that was divisive. That's why I said all lives matter. After all, if you're going to invoke race to try to prove your point, that's racist, right? Which is why I was more concerned about the words and not the message that it meant. I seriously thought DEI meant lowering standards. I didn't blink when someone called some other country a shithole. I ignored the South secession because I wanted to admire leaders like Stonewall Jackson and Robert E. Lee. And so I can fly a certain flag under the guise of heritage, not hate. None of those things made me think I was racist, but that's exactly the point.
Right, because there's a programming going on. And these people don't know that they're actually being programmed to be racist until they hear things from another point of view. And somebody said it's okay for us to chill, but we got to stay aware. Absolutely. When I say that we're chilling, I'm not out here saying that we sleeping. I'm not saying that we lackadaisical when it comes to protecting ourselves and keeping our Second Amendment. I'm not saying that at all. If there's an immediate threat, we're going to execute with extreme prejudice, including deadly force. That's just what it is. Regardless of the consequences. If we got to sit up in court, it is what it is. We're not finna let nobody dash our heads across a stone and attack us unprovoked, and we're not going to defend ourselves. That's not going to happen. We're not doing that. But other than that, we chilling. You stay over there, you mind your business. You know, you eat your hot dogs and hamburgers, you blow your fireworks, you do your little drink your Budweisers and mind your damn business. We're not worried about y'all. It took agents of chaos like Chud the Builder to go in our community and get to bothering us. You show me a black YouTuber or a black content creator in general that's going around white neighborhoods harassing people, trying to get away with killing them. Chud the Builder premeditatedly, hey, I'm going to go out here as an agent provocateur. I'm going to go out here to different neighborhoods and I'm going to antagonize black folks so I can get away with murder. We don't do that. We're not worried about y'all like that. You show me one black man that's going to do that before you sit up here and talk about black people trying to fuel a race war. We ain't got time for that. We're just trying to pay our bills and live our lives and raise our children. Take care of our families. We're not worried about that. You got all them damn Sambos and Uncle Ruckuses. Them niggas is forming an army. All these black content creators are race baiting. They want a race war. What are you talking about? Like, shut up. That's how the Uncle Ruckuses is talking. Like, we out here they out there forming a nigga army. White man, Mr. White Man, you better look out, Mr. White Man. Because they're attacking poor little white children. No, that ain't us. We not Chud the Builder. Look, we too busy. We too busy aging gracefully. We too busy drinking our water, getting our rest, getting our protein in. Yeah, we too busy living our lives. because those blacks out there, y'all better hide your women and hide your children. Those blacks out there attacking the poor white man. I can't believe these Negroes attacked that pearly white man. I mean, they out here, look, I know y'all love white Jesus. I know, I get it. Y'all should hear when they talk about the Austin McCabe situation. Y'all should hear when they killed a white boy. They always say it. Why do the raccoons and Uncle Ruckus is always, they say we race baiting, but he killed a white boy. Like they can't wrap their mind around that Carmelo defended himself, because you're not supposed to defend yourself against a white person. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's sickening. Yeah, the pearly white man. Yo, that's how they be talking, man. I mean, they going harder than the white people. With Sambo's like, y'all, the white man even got to speak up for himself. With Sambo's like y'all, the white man got to say nothing. He ain't got to speak up for himself. He got y'all. I'm telling you. Somebody say you took the oath to the goat. Your people sleep with goats. Did you know that your people made it legal, bestiality legal in 49 states? Now, what type of nation of people, what type of race of people would make goat sex legal in all 49 states? And you want to talk about somebody worshiping some goat? No, that's your people. Come on, man, stop it. This the barbecue you white supremacists really be signing up for when you come over here. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. I'll pull your card the whole time. I'm telling you, don't do it.
Would you agree that you're on the lunatic fringe of the American Negro movement?
Well, I think this, that America's whole situation is a lunatic fringe. Anytime you have a country that refers to itself as the free world and a democracy, and at the same time has 22 million of its citizens who aren't permitted citizenship, why that in itself reflects lunacy, a collective lunacy on the part of Uncle Sam. And you almost have to be insane to deal with an insane man or an insane situation.
There's a lot to unpackage in this video. And I just want to start by saying a lot of folks didn't like Malcolm X during this time because he was too good at holding up a mirror to America and showing, hey, this is our reflection. I would argue at the root of this country is a lunatic fringe start, with a whole bunch of Europeans being cowards trying to escape religious persecution that allowed for the same very entity that was pushing them through persecution to fold and commodify their quest to go to the new world. I keep on hearing a lot about the concept of citizenship, especially in the face of immigration and a whole bunch of different people feeling like if you treated them as citizens, this would mean they can get refuge or safety. As somebody with a degree in African-American studies, I can tell you that the concept of citizenship has never made black folks immune to state-sanctioned violence. When Malcolm said you gotta almost be insane to deal with an insane person, I felt that in my chest. If you wanna understand the insanity of this country, look no further than the concept of citizenship, especially how it impacts them law books. We know the 15th Amendment, no, the 14th Amendment is what gave black folks citizenship. You see what I'm saying? We also know the 14th Amendment is how they were able to overturn Voting Rights Act. We also know the original American, the Native American, was not accounted for in the 14th Amendment. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until the 1920s that Native Americans got to get the American Indian Act, the American Citizen Act, the 1920s. That is lunacy. Yeah. The original inhabitants of this country not being seen as naturalized citizens because of what? Lunacy. I would argue there's nothing in this country that black folks got because of democracy. Everything we've gotten has happened in spite of it. We've had to bleed for all the accessibility to the church house, to the schoolhouse, to housing. We had to bleed for everything they say is a right, a natural right under democracy. Black folks had to fight for it. Y'all don't want to hear this, but when y'all talk about fighting for democracy and protecting democracy, what does that mean for the Black American or the Native American? How is your romanticized, sanitized ideas of democracy accounting for the material reality that makes this democracy possible? Genocide of Native Americans, enslavement of Africans. How can you situate your romanticized ideas about democracy with understanding its history? Point that gets me right here, man. Democracy was a concept that was made in 500 BC, and from the jump, it was no foreigners, no slaves, and no women. For the last 2,500 years, these folks have been trying to trick us into believing that democracy is the greatest thing that gives us freedom and everybody can be included. When in actuality, from the jump, you have not.
Man, R.I.P. Malik Shabazz, aka Malcolm X, bro. Because here's the thing, like, one thing they hate is our people being educated. They don't like us being historically sound. They don't like us knowing nothing. It's like, the irony of it is we are the original educators, bro. We are the teachers in the light of the earth. If you want to talk about Africa, Africa is the origin of all world religions. You listen, you're going to war with the original man. God is with us. God is with us. And it bothers them. Their insecurities is eating them alive. Us knowing. This is why during slavery, they didn't want us reading. They don't want us knowing history. They don't want us to be able to quote eras of time. They don't want us to know, certain legislation that was put in place and all. They don't want us to know none of that. Because facts are facts. You can't argue with the facts.
Prisoners at a jail in North Carolina took over the jail, holding the jail hostage for several hours. This is a pretty stunning story from WRAL News. It's at the Bertie Martin jail. There was a complete takeover by inmates. And the way it happened was you had dozens of inmates literally overpowered.
That's wild.
Keep walking! You fucking pathetic piece of shit! You're a ranger? Are you kidding me? Yeah, you're goddamn right I'm a ranger! Shut up! I don't see anybody spitting! You bad motherfuckers walking around! It's a shame. It's a shame. People like shit! You don't know what the goddamn Constitution even says! Because you can't fucking read! You're the one talking! Because you can't fucking read! You're the one talking! Always forward! Always forward, ladies and gentlemen! Here we are! We're going forward! But we're going backwards at the same time somehow! Jesus Christ, you're pathetic! You're fucking pathetic! You keep walking, you piece of shit! You fascist fucking bitches!
So in certain states, you had the veterans running off these white supremacists. I mean, shout out to the veterans. I don't care what nationality you are. If you're a veteran in this country, you fought for our freedoms. You literally fought for the country. Now, I don't agree with fighting for this country, and a lot of the veterans who have retired, they don't agree with fighting for this country either, because 9 times out of 10, you're fighting a war that's not really yours. However, those who did fight for the country, you've become a threat to the establishment. Because if there's anyone who would form a militia, it would be the veterans. And they rallying together and running off the white supremacists in different states. So I respect them for that. I respect them for that.
Fuck up, you seriously talking. They don't give a fuck about you. You're wearing this cowboy bullshit. You're so proud.
Yeah, run them on off. Run them on off. Hold on.
So I want you to remember something. When you have abilities or talents that are superior to others, and that can be on numerous fronts, whether that's, in relationships with pulling women, whether it's sports, whether it's IQ, whether it's jobs, whether it's money, whether you have a nicer car than people, than someone else, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. These are all material things. These are all things that objectively don't really matter. But America values these things. We live in a capitalist society. Everybody wants to be successful. They want to have things. They want to be wealthy. They want opportunity. When you live in these environments, when you live in an environment like the United States, people are constantly judging. So what happens is that people that never had talent in high school, weren't able to play sports, weren't able to pull women, weren't able to have the opportunities that you had, possibly go to the big colleges, be around hot girls, get the good jobs, whatever it is, right? Pilot, lawyer, doctor. That breeds jealousy. That breeds contempt. People start to feel some type of way about you because they've never had that opportunity. They've never been viewed that way. Society, in America, society views those people as successful.
And that's the conversation that they don't want to have, the insecurity of white supremacists. What made them the way they are is insecurity. That, like, literally, the guy who said it was an incel rally, that's really what it is. You know, they don't have our swagger. They don't have our, and they're always comparing themselves. They're covetous. They got a lot of envy boiling in them. You know, like even just us doing what we do regularly, us having a cookout, chilling, having a good time, playing some line music. They see that and it infuriates them. It infuriates them. It's synonymous to somebody seeing a light that resonates everywhere and they can't obtain it. So they feel they must extinguish it. And this goes way back, man. It's a long history of that. That's why they would literally neuter us in slavery to do what? To actually have our members encapsulated in some type of box or whatever, some display, because they envied our size. They literally envy our genitalia. Like, it runs deep. These people are deeply rooted in hatred. It's an inferiority. You know, it's crazy because, you know, you got a lot of the Sambo super soldiers that talk like, y'all got an inferiority mindset. No, we don't. When we can mind our business and do us, that's superior. They can't do that. They are the ones with the inferiority complex. They have the inferiority complex. So they gotta, you know, basically go over the top, like march 400 deep with mask on. You know, they gotta tout their power that they do have. They have to overcompensate constantly. They have to do it this is why they love war. Like, they love war. You should hear when Trump talks about what type of missiles they got. Oh, we're gonna send something great over there. It's gonna be magnificent. Oh, we got the weapons that can do this and do that. They love that stuff because they gotta overcompensate. Listen, we are just too authentic. We're too authentic. Yeah.
And success breeds content. I truly believe that the white nationalist movement has been brewing, and these people are waiting to be recognized. This is their way of being recognized. The only caveat is they wear masks, right? They walk the streets, they wear these masks, they sit in this space where they're anonymous, but they're able to express their feelings and find community. All of us want community. That's their community. So through their ignorance, through their hate, they found community. They found value. For the first time in their life, they feel seen. They feel powerful over another human being. And unfortunately, it's through hate. It's through the fact that they have limited ability, opportunity. They're not smart people. You don't see handsome white men with good jobs and money becoming white nationalists. These are marginalized, weak, pathetic men that have had no opportunity in their lives, and suddenly they need to feel seen. Yeah. And this is their avenue. This is the way that they feel seen. This is the way that they feel recognized. So something for you to think about. So when you're sitting there, I'm not saying to have compassion or empathy.
That's what it is. It's a bunch of trailer park trash, incels, failures. And make no mistake about it, white supremacists are failures of their community. Somebody says, your channel is very divisive. Why divide? We're all Americans. Look, Christ says, think not I come to bring peace on earth, but I come to bring a sword. We're going to be divided. The wheat and the tare are going to be divided. If you're a white supremacist, I'm not trying to unite with you. If you're a PDF file, I'm not trying to unite with you. This is not We Are the World. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not trying to usher in the new world order where we're acting like everything is about peace. That's antichrist. That's an antichrist spirit. Like, everybody, let's just get along. Every last one of us, come on, let's unite. That's the antichrist. That's what the devil's going to do. Christ said he's going to divide. I'm not trying to unite with you just because you're an American. There's Americans with bodies tied up in their basement right now. What are you talking about? Nah, we bring division. Yeah, we bring division. Because we don't want to be mixing and mingling with people who are destructive.
When you're sitting there and you see these people finding their voice, this is how they found their voice. The first time they've ever been seen, unfortunately. So I want you to remember something. When you have abilities or talents that are...
They finally got a voice. And that's why they were out there marching, straight up. Cowards.
Cowards, all of them. The white supremacist dudes that were marching in Washington, D.C. today, all of them. And the people watching that are cheering them on or think that's their right, also cowards, deplorable, ridiculous people. And also, I don't think these people realize, the ones marching, like, what?
You love Diddy, you demon. We don't love Diddy. What are you talking about? Y'all listen, white supremacy created Diddy. Y'all created Diddy. Right now, Clive Davis is burning in hell for what he did to Diddy and every last one of these celebrities. That's right. Clive Davis is burning in hell right now. But y'all created Diddy. We don't even claim Diddy. We don't claim that Negro. Anyway, look, let's talk about these cowards.
And they're covering their face. Standing up for what you believe in does not come with covering and shielding your identity because you're too afraid to actually stand by your ideals. My face isn't covered right now. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. This is atrocious. These are where my beliefs stand, and I am not such a coward in my beliefs that I am worried about my friends and family seeing my face while I'm carrying them out. Additionally, like, when have you ever seen any piece of media where the white men are walking with their faces covered and they've ever been the good guys? You know what I mean? Like, also, just straight up, what is the purpose here? What are you hoping to accomplish? Everyone already hates you. We already don't like you. It's storming over there right now. Even the God y'all are always spouting about how much you love doesn't like what's going on and has a problem with you. Cowards, all of them. The white supremacist dudes that were marching in Washington, D.C. today, all of them. And the people watching that are cheering them on or think that's their right, also cowards, deplorable, ridiculous people. And also, I don't think these people realize, the ones marching, like, one, they're covering their face. Standing up for what you believe in does not come with covering and shielding your identity because you're too afraid to actually stand by your ideals. My face isn't covered right now. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. This is atrocious. These are where my beliefs stand, and I am not such a coward in my beliefs that I am worried about my friends and family seeing my face while I'm carrying them out. Additionally, like, when have you ever seen any piece of media where the white men are walking with their faces covered and they've ever been the good guys? You know what I mean? Like, also, just straight up, what is the purpose here? What are you hoping to accomplish? Everyone already hates you. We already don't like you. It's storming over there right now. Even the God y'all are always spouting about how much you love doesn't like what's going on and has a problem with you. Cowards, all of them. The white supremacist dudes that were marching in Washington, D.C. today, all of them. And the people watching that are cheering them on or
yeah, I mean, look, they just can't stand behind what they really believe, man. And that's what they do. They always cloak themselves, man. They don't never just be straight up. But I'm glad that they were out there because it show you that white supremacy is very real. Don't let these Sambo super soldiers tell you that white supremacy don't exist. And I'm not saying that they're just everybody who's Caucasian is looking to go out here and attack black people. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that there's a power structure that is designed to cause chaos. Because make no mistake about it, white supremacy wants race wars. The reason why the country is divided is because of white supremacy. Make no mistake about that. And I thought I'd just come through and share this with y'all, man. You know, hold on. I think it's one more video we're going to examine. Yeah, let's go.
Y'all, they shut down his ballroom. Big ass, ugly ass ballroom. He wanted next to the White House. A judge said stop. No go. Federal judge said today he can no longer move forward with his plans to build that ballroom. And federal judge Richard Leon said,
I think that's a old video, but nonetheless, look, I say all that to say this. Y'all. Stay out the way. Keep on being great. All of you Caucasian folks out there who are righteous, all you Caucasian folks out there who are God-fearing and good people, salute to y'all. All my beautiful melanated people who are holding it down, taking care of your family, minding your business, staying out the way. Don't be gaslit and triggered by these devils. However, if it's time to defend yourself, you do it. You do it. And don't let these Luciferian Edomites, Idumeans, don't let them trigger you. Don't let them lower your frequency. Don't let them energy harvest off of you. You are the righteous. You are God's chosen people. And at the end of all of this, they're going to either get down or lay down. One love to y'all, man. More material coming. Thank y'all for joining. With that being said,